I could jump to talking about an image that I often use specifically to talk about Francis near the end of his life as he's writing this canticle, because I think it encapsulates much better than my own life stories or my own reflection. And that is from a statue that used to be at Mission Santa Barbara in California. It was a huge statue. It was probably 6, 7, maybe 7 feet tall. It was very big. It was on a pedestal, so it was even taller than that, 10 feet maybe. And it was made out of driftwood. So rather than just a branch of driftwood, imagine a whole tree of driftwood that someone had carved an image of Francis out of. And you can tell that Francis was originally holding maybe a bird in his hand in front of him. But as driftwood does, it was decaying. And it decayed rather quickly, but it decayed in one part. It decayed around the heart space. And this whole space here of the statue was gone. And that is where you could see that this log was really redwood. So as a colleague and a friend of mine, Sister Christine Still, noted in a retreat that I was giving, she said, notice that that is the only place where you can see the true color of the wood, where it has disintegrated, where it has fallen away. And I feel there's so much wisdom in that insight that Sister Christine offered. We build up our lives. Francis, too, he was building up his life by letting go. But in our careers, we build up a persona, an identity through our work, through our families. And really, when we let go of what is not essential, that is where the true color is, and that is in that heart space. So I hope that makes sense. I use that image a lot. I keep a photograph of it above my desk just to reflect on daily, because I think that helps me with the natural process of letting go in life.
You've hit on it several times already, but this spirituality of letting go that your cover story really revolves around, in this movement that you invite the readers into. I mean, that image is so powerful. We could probably spend the rest of this podcast talking about that image. Like, the most authentic piece of the tree is shining through the brokenness of his chest, his heart. Yeah, so this spirituality of letting go deeper into that for me. What does that look like in our everyday lives? And why do you think this is so important for people to perhaps contemplate or give a chance?
Yeah, I think a couple of things there. First of all, of course, still using that image of the statue, I would say that this heart space has been open to be filled with Christ. I mean, that is what Franciscan spirituality is about, to be Christocentric and to be filled with Christ, Christ's love, and to live into that love more deeply. And so what does that mean to me as a Christian, as a Franciscan Christian? Leads me to another aspect that I try to cultivate in my daily life, and that is to let go of my assumptions, let go of my expectations. Assumptions and expectations are all about controlling a situation, right? And to develop a sense of curiosity about the person I'm talking with, what is their perspective, curiosity about myself. What's coming up for me in this time, in this moment? Am I feeling scared? Am I feeling nervous? Can I own that? And when I can really reflect deeply on my own experiences, then I can respond rather than react. And I think we have in Francis's life and his trajectory of ongoing conversion, we have a lot of episodes of his reactivity. He gets really reactive to the leper at first, and then he starts working with that reactivity. In Chelano's text, it's that he, in the grace of God, allows him to turn around and face the leper again. That is true. And I also imagine that he had to work with his own capacity to face the leper. And he had to do this over and over again. So I think it's both and. So those are some of the ways that I consider this spirituality in my life today.